right, welcome back to episode 21 of the Last Slice podcast. It's Jimbo the Kid here. I'm joined with Trill Boy.
Yo, what's going on?
And we have some special guests in the building. We have our boys from Two Doom Men podcast here with us. What's going on, boys?
What up,
What's going on, guys?
Chilling.
Long time no see.
I know. I mean, I just joined their podcast yesterday when we talked about they had a popcast.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fun. And
Yeah,
Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. And you got a pop this morning.
I know.
Inside jokes. I love inside
boy.
jokes. Let's see what we got going on today. So let's talk about Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
Oh my goodness.
Bill Burr is getting canceled.
I'm well versed, and I'm in the Twitterverse, so I know all the drama going on. Cultural war, political war.
I don't know how you deal with it.
Oh, it's
I remember
frustrating.
I was talking to you this
Yeah.
week about this. Twitter is just breeds hate.
Yeah.
Like, just people are just there to hate, and you're there to police. You're just like, no,
I'm not there to police. I'm there to fight back. Because if you don't,
you're
He's a vigilante.
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
You're like Doctor Strange. You're like, no.
Yes.
No.
Oh my god.
Shut the fuck up.
And sometimes I open circles and I bring you guys in to help. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
my
tripped a
God.
couple people up lately on their stupidity on Twitter. It was fun.
You've been going ham on a lot of people, and a
Yes.
lot of people do it to themselves.
Yes, they do.
They do it to themselves.
Keep backing him into a corner.
Yeah, they have no facts.
No.
They just go based off their beliefs. I mean,
Yeah.
what were you talking about yesterday? It was like you were talking about like, oh, it just keeps going. There was someone you were talking to,
They're
and it's
not-
like,
yeah,
oh,
they're-
there's like a never-ending cycle. There's nothing
Yeah.
to
You could
get the
say-
point across.
You could say, well, look at A, and then they'll say, look at B, and then you go look at C, and then they'll go look at D.
They'll always have something. They'll always put,
Until you back them into a corner, then they stay like, well, that's because
Well, you're a racist. Right. You're a
Yeah.
racist then. Because you made a point that they can't argue, so now you're a racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's just like people don't want to go based off of facts. They just look up they look up a topic, a headline. Oh, that must be true. Oh,
Yeah.
that's what it is. It says it there, and they don't even fucking read into the article at all.
Dude, I saw something on this Facebook page that I always like to comment on, and it really like irritates like the majority of people on it. So I get some good stuff out of it. And they had so remember that weird video of Biden like talking out like on the Rose Garden where he's like moving his hands and he phases through like all the microphones.
Yeah.
And it looks
Yeah.
like it's on a green screen.
Mm-hmm.
So this page on Facebook was like, this was totally a real, like, fact check it, like it was a real thing, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, we're trying to have this video removed and stuff like this. And the Republicans are just trying to come up with some. Yeah.
That much better.
There we go.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they were like, the Republicans are just trying to make some, conspiracy theory that he's not really doing anything. I clicked the link. It didn't go to the video, and there was no article. It was just a headline with a picture, and then you scroll down, and it was another headline with a picture. And when you click on that one, it would go to another page with just the same. Nobody was able to see the video, but they were commenting on like, well, 90% of Americans voted for Biden.
What does that have to do with that?
Okay,
Yeah.
watch the video. There's something questionable. It's a weird video. I don't care what happens. I
Yeah.
don't care who you vote
Yeah.
for. It's weird.
How the hell did we get there? Like,
Yeah.
how do we
Harambe.
go from
Harambe.
people actually doing journalistic work, right? Like these high end, writers actually going out getting information that is the truth. That was the goal was just like, oh, I need to tell the truth about what's going on.
Dude.
Now it's like, oh no, we're just gonna fabricate shit, and it's just
There's
like
more money in clickbait and divisive stories, and Trump. You could see in like the ratings for all these media places now. They're down like
50%,
50%.
right? That's crazy.
50% without
Hemorrhaging
Trump.
viewers.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of money in that, and they accelerated like the division, the cultural war going on in
Yeah.
our country.
Dude, like how we're always saying like there should be better like leaders and better politicians. We need to start demanding better media coverage. It starts and ends there. Like it's
Do you
until
think we
that
should-
falls, like there's nothing.
Do you think we should like implement some type of laws about fabrication? I mean, because you should be held accountable
Well,
if you
yeah.
tell a lie about a serious situation.
Look at
no,
what they did with the Washington Post. When they were trying to say, oh, Trump was telling them, oh, just look for the votes. All you got to do is find 11,000. And like just recently, like the Washington Post was like, yeah, we have to retract that statement. It was, we found out it to not be true. And like we posted something on like the Instagram page. It was like, it's totally fine in 2021 for a major news source to release a quote that changes the fabric of politics and then just quietly be like, sorry, we messed up, and just walk it back and nothing happens to them.
Yeah, like that, and that's what I'm saying. There should be something in place. I mean, and it's hard because it's the First Amendment, freedom of speech. You should be able to say whatever you want. But when you're fabricating a serious story with a serious subject, like you can't get away with that. Like you shouldn't get away with that. You should have some type of fines, or
theoretically, you could sue that person for slander or that entity for slander. My problem would if you make laws to like police what people say. It doesn't matter. We call it that's censorship, and who's going to decide what's right and what's wrong. People saying, the media saying, anybody saying. You never want to give the government that power because all it takes is King Joffrey to come into power, and you think he's going to police speech fairly? No, he's not.
That's true. I mean, look what's going on. Everybody thought that Joe Biden was going to be as progressive as you were talking about, and goodbye.
He's lied.
It was like, yeah, goodbye.
We were just talking about that on the way down. That there was a story about how 5 people working in the White House, they fired them because they smoked weed in the past.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Wait, what?
I saw that on the news today.
This is coming from the administration who said they were going to decriminalize marijuana.
Yeah.
And during the campaign, they were like, we're going to decriminalize marijuana. Like, we would never do that to anyone. Oh, we're in charge now, and you guys smoked weed? Out of here.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not progressive. They're neoliberal corporatists, and anything that's like an actually progressive, like minimum wage, legalizing weed, ending war, they're not for those actual things. They only push the woke agenda stuff, which divides people further. They're corporatists pushing, those microaggression nonsense things.
Yeah, my favorite meme was the when Joe Biden bombed Syria, was it Syria? It was Syria, right?
Yeah.
And it was a C-30 or a bomber plane, and then underneath it was the bomber plane with Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ, and it was just like stamped on the side of it, and it's just like, bro, like, there's certain things like, okay, what do you guys stand on minimum wage going to $15 an hour? What do you guys think?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
I think it should be raised to that over a period of time because it hasn't been raised in so many years. It seems like they just forgot about it. I don't think it should be $100 an hour, but I do think it's time for a raise just because of the sheer amount of time that it hasn't been raised. It's been at $7.25
for years.
Yeah.
Since like what, maybe
for
the
like
80s or something like that?
For maybe like, I don't even know, 20, 30 years almost. I'm not sure off the top of my head. That could be wrong. I don't know.
This is feelings, not facts.
Yeah. No, I think it needs to go up, but right now is the worst time to possibly start doing it. But my issue though with the whole, it's like selling people short too though. Like, I know we can't go too high because then like inflation skyrockets.
Yep.
But like $15 an hour still isn't really minimum wage. You know what I mean? Like a livable wage.
It's not. Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like this isn't like.
But then again,
I mean, it needs to go up, but this isn't life-changing money.
No.
You know what I mean? Like they're chasing something that's not really going to change much for you at all.
Yeah.
You might be able to afford one more bill. Like
Yeah.
I think 2009 is when it hit 725. So it's been, over
Decent.
Quite time.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, I totally agree. I believe it should go up to like $15 an hour and stuff. But like you said, it's like the worst time right now because literally these small businesses, they're like struggling right now during this whole pandemic and whatnot. And then you're going to raise it up to $15 an hour. So these companies are not going to be able to stay afloat and stuff, like paying their employees like that much money. But I at the end of the day, I agree. It should be $15 an hour.
Yeah, and especially the tri-state area. I mean, you're technically
we're already, and so we found out in New York, it's already at like $14 an hour. So
Yeah.
Like in New York, it could go up $1. It might as well.
But realistically, from a mathematical standpoint, and I didn't really research it, but I saw like a math breakdown through inflation and through time. In New York, a livable wage for you to get by is at $25 an hour. Now, I'm saying minimum wage is in place for the employer to pay their employees better, to not starve them, make a decent amount of money. Now we shouldn't go any higher to an astronomical amount of money because you want those people to be like, you know what, I don't like working this bullshit job. I want to make more money. So you need to have them,
keep people hungry.
Here's the thing. Now, since we're talking about minimum wage and working, like whatever happened to like the working class, like the guys who go out Monday through Friday, bust their ass for work, working, paying a shit ton in taxes, and it's just like they don't want to accept handouts. These type of people, want to go to work. They love working, and then the government just always overlook those people.
Yeah, well, that was the whole
and
plan.
You know what I mean? And and it's just like it's sad because like the hardworking man, it's sad to say, it's like at this point in time right now, the way I see it is like I always say, the working man is the sucker.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah,
and it's sad to say.
You got to think like in the state of New York, like we were listening to the podcast on the way down here, and we were talking about like in the state of New York, you could be like a surgeon at NYU and make like $500,000 a year, but if you live in Manhattan, you are still broke as shit. You know what I mean? Like you could be like a prestigious surgeon in NYU hospital, and like you could be living in a 1-bedroom apartment just because I'm close to Fifth Avenue.
There's people who like live in a fucking regular loft, 3 people, 4 people.
Yeah.
They can't afford these prices are fucking ridiculous, dude. Like $3,000 for like a 1-bedroom.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's a mortgage.
I used to work with this girl who was over in America on a work visa, and no joke, she would have to like find her room like where she could live on like Craigslist and shit. Like this had to be such a nightmare. Imagine just like having like a 6-bedroom house, but like then you start turning other rooms into like bedrooms and stuff. One of her rooms was literally like a walk-in closet type of deal. Like
we're going back to the time of like tenements.
Yeah.
And now,
and look,
how did that even come about? Like, how did like the real estate market just absolutely skyrocket to these landlords being like, yeah, I'm gonna charge you a fucking $3,000 for Harry Potter's fucking under the cupboard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how the fuck did it get to that point? How did it get to that point?
Well, it got to that point because after the crash in 2008, the government, every problem we have is rooted in the government, and then the government comes and tells you that they're going to fix it, but they just keep making it worse. But when the whole recession crash happened in 2008, they bailed all those things out instead of like letting the natural progression of things happen. They keep coming in and messing it up further.
Yeah.
So you ever watched what was that movie, The Big Short?
Love that movie.
That it gives you a very good explanation of exactly what happened, and then at the end it shows you like they're just doing the same thing again that they did back then. They're still doing it.
And like that's the thing. There's got to be some type of regulation. That's why I like that whole Wall Street bet stuff, bro. Like it was just like, well, you have these guys in a fucking bedroom doing the same thing these hedge funds are doing. But because the small guy's doing it, it's like, whoa, we need more regulation. It's like, no. You guys were always against regulation. Now you want it because your pockets are
wherever you need the goalposts to be. But some woman was talking to me, and because like her son got in on like some of the GameStop, and I was saying that I did too. And so it got up to like $400 something at one point, and I had seen her, and she's like, I'm glad everyone's making money, but is this really like, a Fortune 500 company and stuff? She's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, whoa, people perceive Bitcoin is as valuable as it dictates it is. So that's what makes it valuable. Just because the little fucking guy perceives this to be valuable, fuck you.
And therefore it means it's valuable. It's valuable. If the people are saying, "Hey, we're gonna pump as much money into this one stock because that was the whole point." They said the original price was like $5 a share at one point, or like $20 a share. They were like, no, the books are healthy. Why the fuck is it $20 per
because
share?
They were shorting them 80%. Right?
Yeah, and then when they researched that they had an 80% stake, all these companies had a majority of 80% stake in the shorts.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, let's go."
It was a good exercise in showing people how phony the stock market is. It's just it's all speculation, gambling.
Yep.
You say the company is really worth a lot. No, it's not. It's just people.
Yeah.
It was worth a lot now because a bunch of people bought the stock and manipulated it in reverse to the way that it normally is being manipulated. But it was just like almost like a societal experiment, proving like, look, we could just make shit up. You know what I mean? Like we could just make up that GameStop is very valuable, and we could all buy the stock at the same time, manipulate the price, cash in here, cash in there. Did anything change in GameStop from day one of that whole scenario to day 5 or 10? No, nothing. Right? It was just people betting and gambling. It's not anything real happening. It's just speculation.
Yeah, and I always thought when the pandemic hit and all these people were losing their jobs, I mean, the stock market was healthier than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was
These
like...
people were betting on it.
Yeah.
I did.
And,
Yeah.
Portnoy, man.
Well, also the wealthy were putting their money into it and making sure that they were secured
They know.
in the future, which is smart. But at the same time, it's like, well, if there's people, like 50 million people unemployed and nobody's really buying anything, now they're saving money, struggling to get money. And the stock market's healthy.
It's not a barometer.
It's like it just doesn't make fucking sense.
The stock market's not a good barometer of how the economy is doing. This is one of my biggest criticisms of Trump. When he was a president, he'd always point to, look, record highs with me as president, as the stock market, record highs. But what does that mean? That doesn't mean anything for the economy or whatnot. It's just, here's a nice number. I'm quoting it, as a positive because I'm the president. But that number doesn't actually mean anything in any of most people's lives. If you don't have anything in the stock market, what do you give a fuck that the stock market's high? You care if you have a job or if you could pay your rent, etc. Put food on the table.
Yeah.
Nope.
Essentially,
That's crazy.
what a time to be alive.
And we started this with Bill Burr. Bill Burr.
I mean, we were we'll come back around full circle.
Can I see the video? I still haven't seen the video. What did he say? What did he do?
Okay, so let me preface what happened. So Bill Burr, is Bill Burr. He don't give a fuck.
Was he hosting?
No, he got invited to do a segment for, and they set him up.
Pre-show.
It was the pre-show Grammys, so it's the people like the orchestras, like not the hip hop stuff, like the main stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's like the subcategories.
Yeah,
and I remember watching it. Remember, I was watching it on FaceTime, and I go, "Oh, they fucking set him up. They set him up because he's a comedian. Like he's a funny fucking guy, and he doesn't give a shit either."
No.
At the SNL monologue that he did a great job with it. So he went on. And they had one of these like little this video where it's like a slow violin playing, and he goes, "Oh man, did anybody else want to kill themselves when they heard that?" Like he was like joking around, but people obviously the way Twitter is, they were like and then they were giving him these crazy fucking names that he could not pronounce, and he's like, so in his head he's like, "What are we doing here?" Like I can't even pronounce. He's like, "I'm butchering people's names." You're gonna have like the 6th gen, like what was it, the 6th gen feminism, like feminists come and attack me or whatever. So so play it. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, good.
Thank you, Igor, for that sublime performance. I feel he's nominated.
How long is this?
A couple minutes. It's chopped up. Yeah, it's chopped up.
Was I the only one who wanted to kill himself during that piano solo?
Absolute goat.
I bought a suit for this. I thought I was going to be on TV. I'm such a moron. I am losing so much money right now. All right, shout out to all the rock stars that I wanted to meet tonight who are watching at home instead. I'm talking to you, Don Dawkin. All right? What, I'm old. That was my first concert. All right, here are the next categories. Up for bids.
For best Latin.
So it'll go through, and it's quick. It doesn't go through the names, but he'll read the names now.
All right, and the Grammy goes to Fido Paez.
The names are absolutely great. They set his ass up, and he just went with it.
Are these real people or are they?
Yeah, real people, yeah.
Okay. I better check my wife religion.
Mexican music album, including Tejano.
They gave him a Spanish section.
Yeah, but it's funny because it's funny how they're setting him up. But
What? All right, and the winner, the Grammy goes to Natalia Lafourcade. Oh, wait a second.
was this all virtual?
Sorry. I will accept on behalf of her. If I butchered her name, I'm sorry. Natalie, you won. Natalia.
The best tropical island?
All right. Hey, how many feminists are like going nuts? So why is this cis white male doing all this Latino stuff? And the Grammy goes to Grupo Niche.
Grupo Niche.
So they basically like set him up for like all these different like names and shit, and it's like everybody's been wanting to cancel Bill Burr for a while now, so they're going to take any opportunity to fucking take him out. But he just doesn't give a shit. It's just like,
isn't it funny that all the people that like they want to cancel, like you look at like Ricky Gervais, you look at like Bill Burr, you look at like fucking who else is somebody that you can't cancel, like Dave Portnoy or someone like that, where they're like, oh, you should be canceled, and they just step back and they're like, nah, you're not canceling me, and right away cancel culture's like, oh, okay. Like if you really truly don't
Joey
care.
Diaz. They tried to cancel Joey Diaz because he made a comment about how he made a girl blow him under like the bleachers. And then when this whole outrage happened, he's like, I kidnapped a guy and went to jail for multiple years for kidnapping you. You can't cancel me.
I'm already canceled. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
That's the thing is when you fight them back, they can't do anything. You
want to circle real back to back, Jen Paskey, back to Bill Burr real quick. After this whole thing happened, people were trying to cancel him for being racist and whatnot. And on Twitter, I saw this. Somebody tweeted, they were like, this is Bill Burr and his beautiful wife. And it's a picture of him and his wife, pretty woman. She's a black woman, right?
Yep.
Somebody on Twitter, a blue check person, named Claiborne Griffin. This was crazy. This was a firestorm.
Oh, my God.
This guy, Claiborne Griffin, goes, listen to this. This guy, Claiborne Griffin, he goes, while I'm not suggesting Bill Burr is a racist, a white man having a non-white wife can sometimes be a sign of racism. So you shouldn't assume someone isn't a racist just because they own a minority sex servant. They may very well have one because they're racist.
Yeah.
Bill Burr's wife, her name's Nia, tweeted at this guy, and she said, bitch, shut the fuck up.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So now, I think I posted this on our own thing. I was like, interracial marriages, racist now.
It's crazy.
Yeah, this shit never ends.
Well, dude, Columbia University is segregating 6 classes for their graduation based on sex, race, religion, and family income. There's going to be an LGBTQ graduation, Hispanic graduation. Like,
what?
They are segregating this class by race. So to protect them from racism.
Yeah, Jim Crow was coming back in the form of wokeism. That's interesting because that applies to almost every scenario in like the media world right now. You could have one person make up a lie, or even one media outlet make up a lie, and then another media outlet will pick it up and confirm it's being true because this other media outlet or person said it, and so on. Like they'll get in a feedback loop of confirming news that's not true based on, CNN says that MSNBC covered this article. So, it's fact checked because it's from MSNBC, but MSNBC made it up. Now CNN runs it, every other, outlet runs it, and they just feedback loop, confirm each other's bullshit.
That's Project Mockingbird. It's your state-run propaganda. That's your. No, you always say that the media is state-run propaganda. Project Mockingbird is the name of this propaganda mission that people say.
Is that a cue?
No, it's not.
Fuck, Trill, bro.
Well,
this is what I forgot, bro. I forgot to make our tinfoil hats.
Oh, my God.
I forgot to fucking make it, bro. I want to
But you agree it's just a name to the propaganda. That's what people on the internet refer to it as, Project Mockingbird. Where it's not that.
I get it, because Mockingbird repeats.
Yeah. But it's not that, he says it and then you say it to confirm that it's true and then I say it because you two confirm it. It's just everybody gets the same exact talking point, so everybody just gets fed the same message repeatedly.
Yeah, and that becomes a source of confirming it as true.
Yes.
Other people are saying it.
Yep.
Right.
Because when you look at something on Amazon, like you just bought like a new computer chair, like you read the review, it had 6,000 plus positive reviews. Only 1% of that is like the 1-star reviews. You're like, oh, this must be a good product because 5,900 people enjoy this. I'm going to get it. So now,
you know what I do? I go to the one bad review because I want to see. I'm not looking for just yes man.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. That could be applied to this recent situation that happened with the shootings in Atlanta. You guys are familiar with it, right? The white guy shot up all those massage parlors, and then right away, the media. I don't know if it was the media specifically, but everybody was like, "This is more of the anti-Asian racism." you know,
It's the
this
whole
is a terrorist
South Asian
attack,
hate,
white nationalist terrorist attack, or whatever, and people were running with that, pushing it. The guy gets arrested, and you know, turns out, according to him, it was like sexually motivated, not racially motivated. That doesn't matter though, because the people now, they've been called, like the people who are saying, and it doesn't mean that there's not racism. Obviously there is, but in this specific scenario, that narrative that they were pushing by reality was checked, and it doesn't matter that it was checked. People are still, no, it doesn't matter. You know, they were saying that sexual frustration, sexual stuff is another form of racism, of white nationalism. It's like, what? If you give people an opposing view or the actual facts, they'll just not care. They'll just steamroll them and continue pushing that narrative that they so like truthfully believe in their hearts. I don't get it.
It's just people picking a side and they're sticking with it. That's all it is. It's just there's nothing you can say to them. Like, you know, I'm always been a right and wrong person. There's no in between for me. It's just either it's right, what I think is right, you know, because everybody's got their own perspective.
Yeah, well, that's the only one you should take. Yeah,
you know, so it's like, you know, the way I was taught is like what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong, and some people just think in their head is like, oh no, I fully believe this is, and then you could be like, well, here's the fucking facts right here.
He put it the best in a meme. Is you could say anything that is truly factual, like here is proof. This is the proof. You want proof? I give you proof. But it doesn't go with their truth, and they just go la 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 la. That's it. That's like it. That's what it comes down to.
I had a little debate with somebody recently about COVID stuff, and they made a comment about how it was, you know, Texas has non-maskers, and you know, those are the non-mask people. I'm like, no, the governor just got rid of the mandate. Yeah. He said you should still wear masks. And I'm like, you know, compare the 7-day average of COVID from New York and Texas, and it was like huge difference in numbers by like thousands. And then the comeback to that was, well, you know, the ICU beds are super full there anyway. So, you know me, I'm not going to just, you know, take shit like that. I go and look it up. I go to the Texas government website. No, they weren't full. There was like 2,000 beds available. I come back with that. Well, no, they're not staffed properly.
Oh my God.
Okay, so you know, I could have. I spent like a few more minutes trying to like look up staffing levels of Texas hospitals, but that's like difficult information to gather. And then I just gave up. I'm like, you know what? Even if I do find that out, and probably most likely they are staffed properly, I'll come back with that, and then there'll be another thing.
There'll be another thing.
They'll never just.
You know what you remind me of? You remind me of Trill's, what I consider Hacker Man.
Yeah.
You're a political hacker man.
Political hacker
man. I could just see fucking Skags in the fucking computer with all these pins of fucking government pins. Just, you know.
Dude, to an extent, you have to do it. I've heard the term before. You have to throw sand in the gears of this bullshit, because if you don't, those people will dominate the conversation everywhere. And people, you know, don't have like the patience, the will to fight back, and they'll just be like, okay, I believe what this person's saying. And if there's no one else pushing back against this bullshit, the bullshit will take over everything.
Oh yeah.
What that page that I was telling you earlier that like talked about the Biden video, they're like, it was a quiz page. Remember, like, play the quiz and see what Disney character you are. Play the quiz and see where your life's gonna be in 5. I would do it just to, okay, this is fun, cool, whatever, you know, I'm Tarzan, whatever, cool, keep it moving. I followed the page. They stopped doing quizzes years ago. They don't even post them anymore. It's just this super, like, bot-driven left-wing shit.
Wow.
And, like, they'll post something, and people are just, like, if it's Trump, they're pitchforks and, you know, torches. If it's Biden, it's, oh, we love this man. But I'll tailor, like, my comment and be like, well, I'm not saying that he's the best, but like he certainly, you know, wasn't the worst. But like, how can you say this if you don't have the? And people will still just like, okay, I can't get you on that, but I'm going to come over here and say that, I'm even like almost trying to agree with them. Like, no, I'm on the same page as you. No, you're not. He spreaded all this racism. Right. I'm like,
never ends.
I'm not saying he spreaded racism. I'm just saying you're questioning this with no evidence.
Yeah,
but we don't need that. We know what's right. You'll see.
I told you about that person. I shared the meme of Biden falling and Trump hitting the golf balls at him.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care if you're the biggest Democrat person ever. That was
funny.
That was
funny.
funny.
It's funny.
So I shared it to a political funny group on Facebook, and someone commented like, "It's not funny. This is dumb. It's sad, whatever, that Trump this, that, whatever." I click on this person's Facebook profile. I was telling this to you. And every single post that this person has is they're posting into like a meme about Biden, like a negative meme about Biden or a Democrat. And this Facebook account is posting something in defense of Biden.
She's your arch nemesis on Facebook, basically.
But that's
she's policing from the other end.
But that's the only thing. That's my point. That's the only thing she's doing, which leads me to believe that that's a bot programmed by
Agent
some
Smith.
Right. Yes, I do that stuff too. But I posted about my chickens. I posted about a slice of pizza that I ate. You know what I mean? Like this person literally maybe they're that obsessed with defending Joe Biden. Don't understand how.
But you're a bot then. You're a brainwashed
every
bot.
single post was her jumping into a debate or something about Biden and defending it. He's not an easily defendable guy either. This is our wheelhouse, bro.
Yeah. And that's why, like I always said it, like your show is is so good at that. Is that you guys have different opinions on certain things. You could talk it out, have open minds about it, and still walk away trying to understand certain things. You know what I mean? And you don't get that now. Now it's like
I said it to somebody a while ago. They said that they were thinking of starting like a YouTube page, and then I told him about the show, and he was like, "Oh man, I'll listen." He's like, "I'll support you." I'm like, "Listen, it's political, so I don't know if you really you might not even be into politics. I'm just letting you know it's not like something cool or crazy that everyone can get into." And he's like, "Oh, I don't care who you voted for, bro. Like you're still a cool dude." And I was like, see, that's what the whole point of the show is. Like, we don't care who you voted for. Like, you got to make it make sense. Don't deny reality, shit like that. And he was like, and I told him, I was like, no one ever, people cared who you voted for, but no one ever hated you for who you voted for until 2016.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
We're old enough to remember all of the Obama administration, all the Bush administration, and probably a little bit of the Clinton. Nobody wanted to break a bottle over your head for voting for Clinton, and no one wanted to shoot you for voting for Bush, ever.
Yeah.
They were like, I hate that you voted for him. Well, let's go have another beer. Hey.
Right.
Yeah.
It was never now you look at someone and it's like, oh, you voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You drive down a street and 5 houses have American flags in their front yards. Who did they vote for?
Probably Trump, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's be real.
Isn't that crazy? The American
crazy.
flag has almost become a divisive symbol.
Yep.
I'm not even joking. Yeah.
No, I know. The same. A lot of people are saying that there's the Blue Lives Matter flag is another one.
Symbol of hate.
A white supremacist flag now.
Yep,
hiding
the Punisher
behind
logo.
How many African American people are police
officers that are rocking that flag.
Yeah. It doesn't matter though, because when you're using that sort of rhetoric, race need not apply. They'll say that white nationalism can apply to multiple groups upholding this bullshit,
this ideology.
They're the ones pushing the ideology about something, claiming that this enemy ideology is out there. Yes, of course, there's racists.
Yeah.
But there's not this.
But you if you keep telling yourself something over and over again, you believe it to be true. And it's a real psychological thing.
Feedback loop.
Yeah.
Dude, and that's why people are so broken. I'm sure everyone in their life just knows someone who we've lost to COVID, but they didn't die. They didn't get infected. No one around them got infected. They've just been so scared for a year that they haven't been within 6 feet of somebody. They haven't not worn a mask in the past year just because CNN has been ramming it down their throat for so long that they're like, there's nothing I could do but wear this mask around people. I even saw an article that mask separation anxiety is a thing.
Yes, I believe it.
There is.
What?
So if people are starting to get anxious when they're not wearing a mask.
Yep.
They feel you could compare it to how when you go to bed and you need the covers over you because you feel more secure. Same thing.
You know what? I actually did that today. Remember, we were going to bring something downstairs and I didn't have my mask with me up here. And I was like, yo, I'm going to put this here real quick. I got to go to my car to get a mask because there was a guy in the hallway that was just like, didn't even want to come into the elevator. He's just like, He don't have a mask on.
When we-
I'm like, oh fuck, I don't got a mask on. I don't want people to feel uncomfortable. So I gotta go and get my mask. He was just, and he took up another elevator. He had
Yeah, I
room,
believe it.
and he was just like,
Like we were at the elevator,
all
and
that
then he saw
Starbucks
that
stuff.
he didn't have a mask. He started backing up like slowly.
yeah.
He was just like,
Dude,
"Whoa, what is
so-
that boy
Listen to
doing?"
this. This is pretty funny.
So I had the Legion hoodie on, the royal blue one with all the patches.
yeah.
On the wrist patch, I have the "Don't Tread on Me" flag, and the hoodie is a pretty intimidating hoodie. But when we all wear it, it looks like we're really ridiculous. Yeah. But it was just me, and we walked into this Starbucks, and there's an interview going on, and the boss who is interviewing this girl sees, like, I have the blue Lives Matter flag, I have the other flag. She caught it, and I just keep seeing out of the corner of my eye her just going like,
You know what she was doing?
checking.
Racially profiling you.
Yes.
Yep.
She was profiling me. Yeah.
I'm not
I was
joking.
profiled today.
Wow.
I could feel like her.
I
just
laughed
looking
when he
at
told me
like,
this. I'm like, oh, bro, you're a proud boy
Yeah.
right now. You have this yellow thing on your
domestic terrorist. Yeah.
you know what I'm getting
But
you for
then-
Christmas?
What?
Hawaiian shirts.
But then, dude, we're walking up to the lobby down here, and we didn't have our masks on yet. And some woman was just on her phone, and then she saw us, and we were walking towards the
Yeah.
door, and we didn't have masks on. And we were getting closer and closer and not stopping to put the masks on. And she literally like, she's like, oh my God.
do you see how wokeism? I don't know how that woman's,
Point of view,
situation,
yeah,
point of view,
yeah.
whatever. But without a doubt, most people have heard of everything going on in society. So do you see how wokeism is racism, basically?
Yeah.
This whole wokeism thing, this narrative being pushed, caused some random woman in a Starbucks to basically racially profile you because you're a white guy wearing a blue hoodie with a certain symbols on it. In reverse, in certain, maybe you could say.
And on the front of it,
So
though,
tell you,
it says "fuck cancer." With the ribbon in it and stuff.
And she's probably like, well, at least he's nice about it.
She probably didn't even see that because she was probably so laser focused on certain thing. But that's, and I don't know that lady's scenario, like I'm saying, or situation, but that is what is being ideologically fed to people to
Well, I
think.
mean, I profiled her. She worked at Starbucks. Am I surprised?
Yeah, we definitely overlooked and we completely passed the, judge someone based on their character. We're not doing that no more. Now it's more of, oh, what's your political leaning? So if you tell me your political views, I know you now. Like, no, like that's not because if I want certain things, everybody's different, and it's a shame because everybody's got different point of views. Like, I don't think the same as you guys don't think as me, but it's good to talk about it and have open-minded conversations.
That's why dropping.
And I'm sorry, and it's just like it's frustrating because it's just like it's just like it doesn't make anything fun anymore because nothing's normal. Everybody's all fucking worked up about shit about having a mask on. It's like, yo, let's just get back to fucking normal. Let's just be normal.
That's
Like,
why people are so mad with like the governors dropping the mask mandates. No. We're just telling you we're not going to force you to wear a mask anymore. You're an adult. Make it your. People are literally angry that the government isn't forcing them to do something. Your local government has failed you because it's not telling you what you can and can't do.
There's a constitutional argument to be made there too, if they ever did have the authority to tell you to do so anyway, at all. Right?
Because he made a Joe Biden made that mask mandate, and also like there's certain like federal areas in like airports, government buildings, like you have to wear it.
That's federal property. I'm talking about even on the state level. Where in the Constitution does it say that the governors have the right to force you to do anything like that? And my fear is that they've invented this right or this power that they have, and they'll never give it up. So I'm encouraged when I see like even if it's a Republican state, like they're like, no, we're taking this power that we had away, just on a principled level, because we're not supposed to have this power forever. It starts with a mask, and then the next little tiny threatening thing that happens, they could make up a new power that they have, and they could affect you. No, we have a constitution here that we're supposed to abide by. I'm not saying the Cuomo, the governor, whoever can't tell you should probably wear a mask right now because it's a safety precaution, etc. But they don't have the authority by law to make those rules. And the fact that they did, and there's been like no challenge or pushback, towards it is scary.
Yeah.
Isn't it called
honestly.
like a governor's executive power or something like that, where they're able to do whatever, basically
Still
what
not
they
a law.
want a little bit, right?
Where does it say that in the Constitution? Yeah,
No,
yes, the governors say that they have the executive power to make up laws and whatnot. But where does it say in the Constitution that the governors have that sort of power?
Yeah, it's true.
The Constitution is supposed to be like the supreme law of the land, but it's been completely trampled on, not just in guns and whatnot.
Yeah.
Everything, freedom of speech, every little tiny thing. People just don't think that way. People are not conditioned to think that way. They think, oh, they're looking out for our safety. No, they're not. Government's never looking out for your safety. Government can't help you.
Nope.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
The
it's a good,
scariest thing, the scariest phrase ever is I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
it is, yeah. And with the point that you just made with the whole governor, like, can you speak on the whole Cuomo situation? Because I know he's ready to go.
I'll let him take that.
care.
What
This
else
is-
is to be said?
Yeah, listen. First off, Kamala Harris, the champion of women. She is the first female VP. She's silent on this matter. I'm sorry, but you're the most important woman in the world. You've accomplished the most that any woman on this planet has done. You gave up your opportunity to stay silent on a matter like this. End of discussion. There's 8 women.
Eight now. Eight
women
officials.
out now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Including an active staffer of his
Yeah.
now has accused him.
Kavanaugh-
Someone who's working there right now.
Judge Kavanaugh, it was a story that might have happened in a college party. The guy was in his 40s, 50s now. We had to immediately believe these women. Kamala was fine with talking about that. Biden was fine with talking about that. Now here we don't have 1, we don't have 2, 3, 4,
8.
5, 6, 7. Now 8 women. How much more proof do we need? How many more people? We're saying right now people are saying 8 women is not that bad. 8 women.
Wow, how the tides change to
Because if you're
the
not
wind.
calling,
It's insane.
if you're not calling for his head, you're saying 8 women's okay. And then now the big thing is, well, we need to have an investigation and make sure this is all factual. We're just playing your game now. We're ready to rake him over the coals like you were ready to rake our guy over the coals. It's identity politics, unfortunately, but like he had 1 story. This guy has 8 stories.
Yeah.
On top of there was another 30 like allegations, but they were less substantiated.
He
but-
even got caught in a memo of a plan to try and slander and smear one of the accuser's reputations. He was going to try and make it look like one of his accusers was a Trump supporter and that her allegations must be a lie.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like how much more? It's like the episodes in Parks and Recreation with city councilman Dexhart, where he's like, I was having sex in a cave in Brazil with like 5 other women. I'm sorry that I'm disgusting, but I'm not resigning. And then like the next news report is like, we just found out Councilman Dexhart had a hooker in his limousine that he slept with on the way to and the way from his apology for having sex with other people. Like it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, you almost respect Cuomo at this point for how sticks to his guns he does.
I gotta say, like, there is nothing off the table with this guy. Smear somebody's reputation. I'm innocent. If I'm innocent, I would want to try and prove I'm innocent, not try and smear someone's reputation.
He's really just like channeled his inner Wolf of Wall Street, and he's like, I'm not fucking leaving.
He has denied these allegations now. Not once, not twice, but 8 times. He has gone up there 8 separate times and been like, nah, this isn't real. Him and Governor Newsom from LA.
Oh, that's another one.
Both are trying to say that this is happening to them because right-wing conspiracy nut jobs
nationalist terrorist
are
plots.
trying to get them out of office.
The Newsom one is literally laughable.
Yes.
There's the recall vote on Gavin Newsom and needed 2 million signatures to go forward, which it got.
Well, so what's his deal? Because I really don't follow up on him.
Horrendous. He's just
his handling of COVID, has angered people in California. Being the fact that he didn't follow the rules himself.
Several times.
The insane. They've been way more restrictive than even New York has, and there's been lawsuits against them, and they've lost the lawsuits. because they didn't have any scientific evidence of backing up keeping the restaurants and et cetera closed. They lost the lawsuits. They appealed the decision just to keep it in the courts so they could keep the restrictions in place and going and keep the restaurants closed. So people are mad. People are mad because you're being a hypocrite, and it's right there.
Yep.
And this recall vote started, and it needs 2 million people to sign on to in order to even have an actual vote in order to kick him out of being governor. It got the 2 million right before it got the 2 million. However, the Democratic Party of California gave like $500,000 to start a campaign to fight back against the recall vote. Right. As soon as that happened, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Newsom himself, everybody came out and started spinning this bullshit about how it's a white nationalist, racist, domestic terrorist plot by right wingers to have the governor recalled. What?
It's a terrorist plot
What?
to sign.
You piss people off, and they are signing up. 2 million people, so 2 million right wing conspiracy theorists in California.
Yeah.
In California, it's
A liberal
signature verified, right? Not voting was a signature verified, but that's signature verified. Come on, that's a conspiracy right there. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram should be fact checking that and putting a little thing underneath and being like, this claim is not substantiated by anybody. They don't.
Test it out. Say, tweet out that Donald Trump cured COVID with his vaccine, and watch your fucking tweet get fact checked, and then say Joe Biden's the king of the moon. And nothing, you will get nothing.
It just happened to us, bro. I tweeted, I posted on our Instagram the video with the microphones of Biden, and I didn't make a claim.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't make a claim. All I put was, what's going on here? Look at the microphones in the bottom of the video. Is that a claim? I'm asking for people's opinion as to what's going on here. And Instagram fact checked it, saying that this is false. This is misleading and false. What's misleading and false?
I want to know what's going on.
I'm asking what's going on. How is that misleading or false?
Wow.
Isn't it wild?
Yeah,
It's weird.
All these little
Weird
tiny
at
things,
times,
all these
bro.
little things are like swaying people's mentality, their way of thinking into just mindlessly buying in to whatever the Democrat establishment point of view is. You cannot trust any politician, any
Can we talk about something fun?
That hard.
I'll even let you guys ruin the Justice League from here right now.
You're good. You're good. I mean,
shit.
yeah.
What do you got here on the list? Anything fun?
Not really. All right,
Talk about a setup, bro. Jamie set us up with the topics. Yeah, everything is politically motivated somewhat. Cardi B, Luka.
Yeah. Let's talk. So he made a good point today.
What?
He said, Alfred Pennyworth. What's his name? The actor. Michael Caine is the best Alfred Pennyworth ever.
Oh, from the Christopher Nolan?
Yeah, from the
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, without a doubt.
100%.
I love that
gotta
guy in
agree.
general.
100%.
I wish he was
He
like
was-
my grandpa.
I don't disagree, but I haven't watched the new Justice League yet, and I know Alfred's in it, right?
He doesn't have a major role though.
Yeah, he's just like, Mr.
'Cause I
Wayne
kinda like
Master,
him.
and it's just
Yeah.
like, you want a cup of tea? Like literally, that's all he does.
Yeah,
you know?
I kind of like him, but I think the one you're talking about probably got the most, the biggest Alfred role there's been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a lot
Did you
of
watch
wise
the
lines.
first Justice League that came out?
Yeah.
So you're aware, majority of the big shots, the big scenes are still in there.
Yeah.
So they just added a couple of things. It just the order in which it's in is the best. I mean,
Yeah.
the first 10 minutes, you're like, this is way better than the first one. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like.
Better than that stupid ass video camera thing of Superman in the beginning with that whole mustache thing.
Oh yeah.
So that was in the original cut, and then now they have this. It was just big difference.
Did I talk to you about this? Did I send it to you?
What?
I think I sent it to you yesterday. I read an article about Zack Snyder explaining certain things. So there's one character that I'm not going to spoil, but there was one character that was introduced towards the end of the movie, and it was originally supposed to be Green Lantern. But DC attacked him and was like, yeah, no, we don't want Green Lantern in there whatsoever. And he had to plead his case. And it's just that's the problem with DC. DC needs to Warner Brothers needs to sell. Because they're ruining it. They're just fucking killing.
I guarantee you Disney would snatch
I was going to say
that
to
right
who?
up.
Disney?
hell yeah.
We don't need any more, centralization of anything.
You know who should buy it?
Who?
Netflix.
Yeah, that would be
Warner
cool.
Brothers?
Netflix should buy DC Comics.
Netflix does a good job with their
Yeah,
produced.
their original stuff is
very good.
really good.
Punisher.
Yes.
That all that stuff was
Daredevil
good.
is hands down one of the greatest shows that I've ever seen that was a superhero show.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it?
was phenomenal.
There's rumors that he is reprising his role and keeping that role. Is that true? You guys know?
Supposedly,
I
yeah.
think
So is
so,
Ryan
yeah.
Reynolds.
Supposedly, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we were talking about
Deadpool.
that yesterday.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then so with the
Hold on, wait. Would you guys want John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic?
Oh, yeah.
Jim from The Office.
Yeah.
You know, he did try out for Captain America.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, he
originally,
did.
he was originally supposed to be like Captain America and stuff, and then Chris Evans came in and just stole all
They
the
did
show.
like a whole thing on like the other big actors that applied for the roles. They did Tom Cruise for Tony Stark.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God we didn't get Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
It's too.
And then the guy who plays Loki, what's his name?
Oh, Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, he auditioned for the role of Thor.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thor.
Thank you. That's when Chris Hemsworth walked in. They were like, "Yeah, you're done. Get out of here."
It's gotta be a brick shit house to be Thor. It can't be
Oh
some
my God.
scrawny guy. He's Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they probably said that too. They were probably like, all right, we have another role for you because you're such a good actor. We'll give you
Right.
Loki.
Yeah.
It's probably one of those things.
Maybe he was going to bulk up to be Thor. I don't know. I don't see it.
Muscle suit. Yeah.
I got a good question. Who's your guy's least favorite actor as a superhero? Like from Marvel. Let's just keep it in like Avengers.
So Marvel.
Yeah. In the Avengers. We'll keep it like nice and specific.
I already got mine.
Who's that?
Mark Ruffalo.
Ooh, interesting. Why's that?
I don't like him as a person, A, and B, Ed Norton was so good. Man, I get like I really enjoyed that one. He isn't as Bruce Banner-ish as, Ruffalo is. And I do see like why that's important. But I really liked him as the Hulk. I thought that was so good. And Eric Banner, the first guy?
Yeah.
He was a good Bruce Banner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He played like the little lab rat like really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't like the Mark Ruffalo. The one thing I do like though is that the Hulk, you could see Ruffalo
Those face.
in the
Yeah,
Hulk,
yeah.
which I think is like super important. Like they never really did that before, and that's a very nice touch.
Yeah. What about you?
Brie Larson.
Oh,
Zero
Captain.
emotion. Like
She just existed.
the only movie I didn't like of all the Marvel ones was Captain Marvel. I felt no emotional connection. No, like I felt like she was just like nah. The whole movie, just like no emotion, no anything.
Yeah.
She was just walking around punching people's heads off, and that was
Yeah.
it. Thanks. You brought nothing.
Emotionless.
I felt like she brought nothing to the role.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sexist now, so yeah, I can't oppose that.
Feminists go attack. What about you?
Damn, that's a good question. I'm trying to think of which actor. Trying to think. I don't know.
Who's like your least favorite like superhero then? Probably.
From there?
Oh, this
They
guy's
also dwarf the
this
Hulk. They could
guy's-
be a villain too.
This guy's a Marvel fanatic.
What, me?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
You know how like
Dude,
there's
you
like
could do a villain too.
you know
Yeah,
how
any
like there's
actor.
like believe all women. He's believe all Marvel. Like everything that they cast, he's like yes.
No. I don't know. I would have to say the Hawkeye. Like, I feel like they could have probably maybe
Jeremy Renner?
Yeah.
I like Jeremy Renner.
I kind of like him too.
Yeah.
But there's only one rendition of Hawkeye
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, I mean I don't know enough about the superhero to even like compare it. You know, like I just,
They really fucked him in the first Avengers.
Yeah, they
put it
did,
that
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And he had a bigger role in Thor 1 and it all got cut.
really.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So Hawkeye was assigned to do Overwatch on Thor's hammer when S.H.I.E.L.D. took over that area. And he had, and so remember, he was like up in the crane,
Yeah.
maybe in the room with like the Tesseract or
Yeah.
whatever. So he had like much bigger roles, but they cut him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Cut
He's
out
getting
lot
a
of
show,
stuff.
right? His daughter.
Yeah.
So he'll have more.
They tried
screen
canceling
time.
him.
Yep. With his that whole
But-
allegation with his wife. and
Yeah,
stuff
but
like
like if what he did is real, like he kind of.
I don't even know anything about this. What is it?
He was doing like coke in front of his wife and his kids, and like he was like getting real crazy. Like he shot his gun off in the house. He like in front of his wife. He was like, "I'm gonna kill myself right now."
Really?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, he's got sounds like.
Now is this
demons.
true?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, if it's true, if
Instagram
it's true,
fact check.
yeah.
If it's true, it's like
Jesus.
wild. So who's your least favorite?
I'm gonna be a little bit controversial here. I'll probably get flack. I've been getting flack all fucking week about the fucking post I made about Batman, but I'm gonna get flack for this one. Chris Evans. I don't
Really?
think he's a good Captain America.
Oh,
Really?
Nope.
Really?
no way, bro. He
Nope.
basically is Captain America.
Yeah.
He looks like Steve Rogers, man. He's got the body, everything.
Why? What's your
Could have done
reasoning?
much better.
Okay,
Like
so
who?
who would you have picked?
Someone that looks like Captain America.
You needed a square jaw fucking Boy Scout. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but not him. Yeah, I just maybe it's because of that comedy movie he was in. I've always seen him as like one of those like a.
Oh, well,
that
he was always in
movie-
romantic comedies.
Yeah, romantic comedy
Yeah.
movies. I don't like him. For
I
some
think he's
reason.
done a good job. Honestly, he looks the part. He's
Yeah.
been funny where he needs to be
And
funny.
he even
serious where
played. He
needs to
even
be.
played like a better, a
here you
darker,
go, here you
with
go.
a beard. He was
Here
a
you go.
darker Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
John Hamm.
John Hamm for
As
Captain
Captain
America.
America.
No,
I don't know who this is.
that's the guy from advertising show.
John Hamm.
Madman.
Yeah, Mad Men.
Is Captain America?
That's Captain America.
I could see it. I could
I
see
could
it.
see
yeah.
it,
He's got a
but-
really square jaw, so that's why I could see it.
Oh my god.
No, I think Chris Evans.
Oh,
did
you
a
put me
great
as a
job.
casting director, I'll fuck up the whole movie.
Yeah.
That's gotta be a tough job too, because
Oh, yeah.
like you have to. The person you're gonna pick is gonna be the role of the
Dude,
fucking
I
whole
always
thing,
said
so.
for. I thought she would have made a great Wonder Woman. Was who's the chick that got canceled from Star Wars?
Gina Carano.
Gina Carano.
That's my girl.
I think she could
I
have played
am-
a
Oh,
good
she could've
Wonder
Could've
Woman.
been, yeah.
I love. I've been following Gina Carano since she was a UFC fighter. You can
Yeah.
ask him.
Yep.
I've been a huge fan of hers, and I remember when she was in Deadpool, I was like, "Holy shit, she's a fucking UFC fighter!" She finally got into acting. That's great.
Yeah.
And then she got picked up for The Mandalorian and stuff like that. And it's
now
sad
she'll
what
never
happened to
work
her,
again.
but actually, it's not sad because people are really defending her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people
She got
are
another
coming.
role now with Ben Shapiro's company, making some other movie.
It was a Daily Wire or something like
Daily
that.
Wire.
He gave her
Yeah.
like all like full control.
She's going to direct it, I think. Yeah.
They had the knives out for her Disney because of other things she said in the past. So like when she said that, she posted that one controversial thing. They were like, yes, we got our excuse now. We could kick her out.
You know, so if we were to switch over to DC, I see why they pick him. I think it's a great pick. I don't hate him, but to me, it's not the hero. Jason Momoa for Aquaman.
You out of your mind, bro.
No, it's a good pick.
It's a weird
good-
one.
It's a weird.
It's a
good-
weird
weird.
one because
Weird.
it's a different image of
Yeah.
Aquaman. Because
'Cause
my dad was like, my dad's very old school comic book.
Yes.
You ask him, like
Yes.
he loves Thor with the when he
the
said
wings.
Chris,
With the
when he saw
wing.
Chris Hemsworth, he's like, where's the fucking helmet with the wings? I'm like, Dad, what are you fucking 1940s? Relax. I mean, this is the new.
That was the first scene he was in. That was it.
But Aquaman, it was like a whole different with the tattoos. He was a guy with white with blonde hair, and he
Yeah.
looked like a fucking bitch. But now it's Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
And hey, he
It's
looks
a
good.
cool- it's a good looking.
Yeah.
It's a better pick. But like to me, like the nostalgia, like I got the gray suit Batman, and that's why I love Ben Affleck as it. But like to me, Aquaman is the orange shirt.
Did you see Aquaman the movie?
Yeah, I know. At the end,
At the end, he
that.
gets it,
At
yeah.
the end, he gets it, and he looks good. It looks good. I don't hate it, but to me, still, like Aquaman is like some blonde haired dude from Miami.
Just loves the water.
Yeah, like a Paul Walker could have played like Aquaman or
Paul
something.
Walker,
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
Oh, R.I.P. Paul Walker. Yeah, that would have been a great.
Like that's what like anytime you ever tell me it's
How about
that
this
cookie
one?
cutter image of
Matthew McConaughey.
Oh my god.
I don't think his
That
personality
would be so
able to-
fucking yeah, but he would be like that, like hipsterish,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
always high type,
Yeah.
fucking like Dazed and Confused as Aquaman. That'd be fucking great. Guy, he's surfing in the water, and then he's just like, oh shit, I gotta go save the shark.
But what Jason Momoa gives to Aquaman though is that like Aquaman always got shitted on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, if there's no water around, what is he gonna do? Blah blah. But like people never knew like he's bulletproof. He's super strong. Like he has like good powers and he can whoop your ass. That's what like Jason Momoa gives him. Like, no, this is a badass that's going to destroy you.
Yeah.
You know, like the one actor like from the DC thing that I'm not really a fan of, like that casting is Ezra Miller for the Flash.
Yeah, you said that.
He hasn't had a chance though, really.
Yeah.
You know, I guess Justice League was his first like real chance.
Yeah.
And I kind of enjoyed him in that so far. They've spun him to be the humor of which I like.
I'm not crazy, but because I kind of feel
gotta give him a shot first.
Yeah, no, I got to give him a shot. And I want to say I like the kid from the CW better.
Yes, I agree. He's the Flash in my opinion.
I still think they could have done like better actor wise because like remember the old Flash movie where the Flash from the CW's father.
Yes.
That guy played the Flash.
Yep.
You had a big, tall, athletic build, guy being the Flash. Like that's kind of like a better idea of like a Flash than these smaller guys. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not like it. I don't care that they're smaller, and like I don't know. That's I want to go right back to the comic book.
You know what though? At the same time, it actually makes sense that the Flashes are like scrawny, skinny dudes because they burn so many calories because of the literally that's he says it in Justice League.
Yeah.
He's always has to eat because he's consuming so many calories because of his powers. How could you be a brick shit house when you're consuming everything as soon as you eat it, like instantly?
Yeah.
They ruined Lex Luthor by picking that kid.
Yes.
They should have made him the Riddler, bro.
Especially to stand up to like a Henry Cavill Superman.
Yeah.
Wait, it's a mismatch of actors.
Yeah, I wonder why they went that route.
I don't
That's
know.
a weird
don't
route,
know.
right? They did like that type of enigma type of thing where it's like
If you look at Black Manta, like they picked the perfect guy.
Yes.
Oh, that guy.
You know what I mean? Like that's what it was in the comic book. Like this is who it. Really
I love that. I love that rendition of it. I was like, wow, they really did a great job.
And what's the big dude playing Deathstroke?
I was just gonna say my favorite casting in all of it is
Joe
Joe
Manganiello.
They need to give
When
him
he's in the Justice League.
No,
right?
yeah.
But I'm saying he needs to
you
be like the focal
saw
point
the
of the
last
movie,
one. He was in the
he was
last
at
one
the
too.
end, right.
Yeah, he's at the end with Lex Luthor. He's sitting in the yacht.
Yeah.
Bro, when I saw the first time, I was like,
he's perfect for
fans
it,
are now getting what they want because I always said in DC universe in all the Batman movies it's the same 5 fucking villains. And you never get Deathstroke. Deathstroke is detrimental to the fucking Batman series.
He was supposed to be the main enemy of the Batman movie that
for Ben Affleck
was going to do, which never happened. Right.
So now we got teased and it's like, yeah, go fuck yourself.
I know. What's going to happen with the whole DC universe?
I have
honestly?
faith. What I think is going to happen in the DC universe is the Flash movie is going to
Reset.
be Flashpoint.
Probably, yeah.
Fuck
That's
up
what they should do.
everything.
Yeah.
And then Robert Pattinson's Batman. I'm excited. I'm going to give it a shot.
Flop.
Probably. But one thing I've learned with Batman is everyone's old. Whoever you cast as Batman, people are going to complain. So Christian Bale, I'm old enough to remember people hated that decision.
Yeah.
Fantastic Batman.
I liked him.
Ben Affleck, people were furious.
Yep.
Fantastic decision.
Yep.
So I'm going to stick to it and say Robert Pattinson's probably going to play it going. And it's also a younger Batman. This is year 2 as like the official Dark Knight, which can make it cooler because it's so early on. It's like day 1 with Iron Man. That's why it worked so well with Robert Downey Jr. because he was just old enough. He wasn't too old, but he wasn't too young, and we got him from day 1 to his last day.
Yep.
That was cool. Right.
Yeah. And
We can get that with Batman now.
Let's give credit to Wolverine.
Yes.
With him too.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman is Wolverine.
Who could? I can't see them. I can't see anybody else.
My
being
biggest
Wolverine.
unpopular opinion: if we redo the X-Men, they have to recast.
No.
Yes. That Hugh Jackman cannot show back. He's too. In real life, he's too old. He's not going to make it to phase 5 and 6, where a young guy will be around for the next 10 years. And then when we have the next big Endgame event 10 years from now or whatever it is, Wolverine is still there on the front
Who would you
line.
want to play Wolverine?
I don't know.
I'd honestly be more happy that he doesn't come back, and that iteration remains, and the girl, his daughter, X-20, whatever,
X-22.
Picks up the mantle.
No,
I'd rather
22,
that.
23.
I'd rather
X-23.
I don't know. I loved that iteration of Wolverine so much that I'd be willing to not have him again.
But you're taking all your chips off the table where they might just have somebody and he could be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it could be like such an awesome. And if the guy they pick for Wolverine is awesome, the movies they'll do with Wolverine just because of the stature of that character.
That's true. But then if they're gonna recast Wolverine, that means that everyone's out from the original. You can't have it both ways, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I don't care.
And there were some good castings in the
I don't
X-Men,
disagree.
Universe.
I don't disagree.
Especially in the first class one. You have
Oh, the
good
first
people
one?
playing some like Magneto.
This dude as Magneto.
Yeah,
He was
those
really,
were
really good.
You know, like
Patrick
annoying to
Stewart
have to start those
Oh,
over.
Patrick
Yeah.
Stewart is Professor Xavier.
Yeah.
Hands down. Hands down.
even the young ones.
Yes,
the young
he's
ones.
good.
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah.
good.
You know what I mean?
See,
Like, what are
I
the odds
wouldn't-
you're going to recast those roles with such banger actors again? You know?
Yep.
I see. Like, I would hate to give it away from him and the kid who plays Beast and stuff, because like they grow together, and that's what happened in like the X-Men universe.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks to like would have to recast them, but like, if we want Wolverine to be there in the long run, and Wolverine's a moneymaker, so they want him to be there in the long run, he's going to sell the toys. You know what I mean? They can't use Hugh Jackman. It's long-term deals going to be terrible.
How do you think they're going to justify the existence of the X-Men or bring them into the MCU? Like, what do you think is going to be the plot narrative?
guys
This is complete speculation, no spoiler.
I think
anything,
they
you
already
know?
did that, like in WandaVision, because pretty much when they did the flashback, what was it, the second to last episode, when they showed Wanda and Pietro when they were younger, and then the bomb came in, they were pretty much showing you that like she already had her powers when she was like a little kid and whatnot. It's just that the Mind Stone, I guess, like amplified it or whatever, and gave her that vision of her in the future being the Scarlet Witch.
So you're
Interesting.
just
Yeah,
trying to
that's a
say
good
that
point. That's a good
something.
point.
So the mutants are all there. Just the
I think so,
Mind
yeah.
Stone maybe
Yeah.
activated their gene. Or
The
something.
thing that the snap is what I think what activates everyone's like mutant gene.
So where are they at though? Because it's been
It's
6
been
years.
5 years, 6 years now.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't think
and-
that's going to be it, in my opinion.
I don't know. The thing that I was interested in, because we were kind of confused with some of the end credit scenes, and I started looking up YouTube explanations and stuff. So one thing that they brought up was WandaVision was supposed to be fourth in line. We were
Yes.
supposed to get Black Widow, then we were supposed to get Falcon Winter Soldier, then we were supposed to get the Eternals, and then we were supposed to get WandaVision.
Yep.
We might get our X-Men answers because we all got excited when we saw Pietro. We might get better X-Men answers in Winter Soldier, in Black Widow, and especially in Eternals, because like Eternals are like basically the
Eternals
people who
even happening still?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So Eternals, from what I understand, are basically the people who were like the first superheroes that like.
Oh, that's with Kit Harington and Angelina
Yeah.
Jolie
Yeah.
and et cetera.
I think they're the ones that created humans too, or something like
Something
that. Right?
along the lines, but because of them, that's why there's heroes amongst us and stuff like that, I
Gotcha.
believe.
Yeah.
And so, like, we might get better answers in those, and we might get better answers leading up to Doctor Strange's universe, because the fact that he wasn't in WandaVision, sorry if that's a spoiler, was a sin.
Yeah.
They should have had a 5-second cameo.
even they
okay?
name dropped him multiple times too. The Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
But to really push these like a TV show over the top, like, because it was movie quality. If he had shown up, like, it would have felt like a full out crossover movie.
That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought he was going to pop up at the end.
My other theory, sorry to cut you off, everyone who was in the Hex is now mutated.
That's what I thought. Too.
That's almost true because Maria Rambo, when she went in and out so many times,
cells
that other
changed.
girl, the scientist girl, says like, yeah, like your cells are changing, which means your cells are mutating. You're a mutant. Yeah, so she could theoretically.
You know
be
who
a
I
mutant.
thought that was going to make an appearance? It would have been Magneto.
That's what I thought too.
Because Magneto in the comic book is Scarlet Witch's father.
Yeah.
So I thought that he would have popped out of nowhere, like, hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in years.
I thought they were teeing that up too, because in the first episode, that scene when they're at the dinner table and they're talking about like, oh, where are you from, like who your parents or whatever, something like that. I thought that was going to lead up to like Magneto at the end of the
That would be
series.
crazy.
but
That would have been
dope.
crazy, just like all the metal just coming like slowly.
that would have been
You
great.
could just see that shit coming. You just like see all the metal. You're like, yes.
You see, I don't think there's gonna be anything real happening with the X-Men until we get to Doctor Strange's movie, because it's called the Multiverse of Madness, and I think they're gonna reuse some of the actors, and they're gonna use. I rewatched Doctor Strange first movie recently, and they go big into it about the multiverse and how there's unlimited
Infinite
other
amounts,
worlds.
Yeah.
That means that those X-Men from the Fox movies are around somewhere theoretically, right? So I think that's gonna be where we get our first
we're
concrete-
agreeing that Doctor Strange is the key.
Yeah, to a lot.
I think
yeah.
the big
Unlock
one
all
for
this
right
stuff.
now,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
they've
what
been
would be
teasing
cool?
that for a while. So.
Yeah, so like it would be cool, like if you can
But
get.
we
like,
also,
No, you're good.
we also now have two things going on at once, because something like WandaVision is setting up the multiverse, but it's also setting up Secret Invasion.
Yep.
So there's literally 2 big storylines going on at once.
They better nail that because I hate that. That like I can't
Now
trust
they're
anything.
buying-
Everything
yeah,
can be
yeah,
fake and BS. I don't like that.
Just like when, with Star Wars, when they just had to produce something every year to produce something. If it gets like that, like it'll be saturated, and like we're not going to have substance in the stories. But because they add new characters, maybe if they do it right.
I don't. You know, the ending. Sorry for spoilers, but the ending of WandaVision, where they're like, he wants to talk to you, and she's like, who? And she's like, pointing up to the sky, meaning Nick Fury, I guess, right? But that's not really Nick Fury, isn't it? Isn't a Skrull? Remember in Spider-Man?
So it is Nick Fury. I looked up the answer and stuff. So basically, when she points up, what you should cut to is the end credit scene from Spider-Man Far From Home.
Right.
So Spider-Man's end credit scene is what she's talking about by pointing up. I didn't put that together until someone told me.
Re-explain to me how that makes any sense.
Because Nick Fury is on the Sword spaceship.
Yeah.
Now that Shield went down and it was Hydra, he either linked up or started Sword, and he's running this interstellar operation now.
Because they said that Monica's mother or whatever was really good friends with Nick Fury and stuff like that. So they probably were connected, like Shield and Sword and whatnot. And I guess they said that he was up in space building the new Sword like spaceship or something like that up there.
And the funny thing too is they referenced the Shield TV show, because remember when what's his name, Agent Carter, not Agent Carter,
Phil Coulson.
Yeah, Agent Coulson was in Fiji. Remember, I just remember being in Fiji, and then I came back to work. Nick Fury was in a Fiji simulator. So when they killed Coulson, Shield must have been the reason why, part of the reason why.
He was a part of that Tahiti project.
Yeah.
So pretty much they brought him back by using Kree blood and all this other stuff. It was wild.
The only thing that confuses me about the whole thing is that at the end of Spider-Man, the guy who was Nick Fury was a Skrull. So is that, what is that?
So pretty much,
did Nick Fury tell that guy to go impersonate?
Yeah. So he pretty much told him to play me on Earth while I'm out in space dealing with the whole Sword thing.
How do we know that? How do we know that wasn't the Skrull all along?
Because he's working with the Skrull on the Sword ship.
Oh yeah, didn't he call him at the end of the movie?
But how do we know? How do we know that it's not a Skrull pretending to be Nick Fury working with the Skrulls?
Because there's already a Nick Fury on. Why would 2 Skrulls be Nick Fury?
Who said it was 2? It could have just been the same Skrull. You see what I mean? How I hate the whole.
But But there's one guy on Earth and there's another guy.
You saw both of them at the same time?
Oh, they were on the phone with each other.
Were they? Okay. I don't remember. So Nick Fury was on the phone with the Skrull.
Yeah,
impersonating Nick Fury.
Yeah, he was giving him an update, what happened and stuff like that.
That makes sense.
I'm so lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't like. I don't like the imposter impersonation aspect of anybody could be fake. Anything could be completely bullshit.
Now with the shapeshifters, anything that goes wrong in the MCU.
They're giving themselves an
part
out.
of the Secret Invasion. We're going to fix that.
And any mistake they make, they've given themselves an instant out with it, which is annoying.
Yeah. Wow, that was really cool to watch. I'm going back and forth. I'm it's I don't even have to go buy a fucking Wikipedia or Encyclopedia of Marvel. It's fucking.
Oh boy,
that was pretty cool. I was all right. I mean, I give the writers credit. I give the writers credit that it could be so in depth and you can link up certain things from different movies to this to that, and it's pretty cool. I fucking hate it because I want DC to be like that, but
I know that's why I like Marvel a lot.
That's why I'm kind of excited with the new Robert Pattinson Batman and the Flash being Flashpoint, because for DC to work, they're going to have to bite off of the Marvel formula. And in its entirety, you can't get big names like Will Smith and Ben Affleck to commit to a role for the next 12 years of their life. You could get Robert Pattinson, who hasn't done shit since his, what was that book movie?
He's done stuff.
Twilight?
Not since Twilight. Twilight was
he's done other. He did
Twilight.
He did a really good
he did
Netflix
Tenet.
movie.
Wasn't he in Tenet?
He did. There was a really good Netflix movie called, I think, The King. That was pretty good.
Yeah, he was
right, but he hasn't had a bigger role than his Twilight role since then. You look at Ezra Alba. I don't know anything that he's really in. Jason Momoa is. If he was to stick with Aquaman, he would be the next big.
I think he will stick with it, though.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
not that big that he couldn't stick with it.
That's why when they picked Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth and Robert Downey Jr., like the only person that could have really went far still would have been Scarlett Johansson because she's smoking hot. But now she became an action star instead of the leading lady or, you know, some woman in a romantic comedy. That gave her the opportunity to grow. So, like, they got to pick people that are young enough to, for the long run, look like them, and also that aren't big enough that, hey, you're going to pay me $25, $35 million over the next, like, 5 years.
So, I mean,
let's do this. 4 movies,
The perfect thing was Spider-Man.
I was just going to say, Tom Holland was the perfect
Spider-Man.
choice.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. The kid was like, he only had one movie under his belt or whatever. And like literally he looked like a high school kid because he was like 19 years old.
You could also now, like they brought Spider-Man into the game late. So now you have a very popular, strong character. As soon as Captain America's going out, you have another, you know, leader coming up who's young, could, you know, lead this Marvel universe for the next however many years. And they like build him that way too, you know, picking up the torch of Tony Stark and whatnot.
You could do this so easily with a young Batman and then introduce a Robin-esque Nightwing late in the game, or you introduce Robin early in the game, and as it's been 10 years now and Batman's on his way out, we're going into Nightwing. Like, just completely... And then even, like, not even Bruce Wayne dying, just becoming old, and then old man Bruce Wayne type stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so... But they got to start young. They got to steal that formula from Marvel. You know what I mean? And it's cool that they want to keep it dark, because I'd be perfectly fine with Marvel being funny and, like, cool, and, you know, DC
you gotta watch
being
Justice
dark.
League.
Yeah.
It's literally what the fans wanted. You know,
You know what I wanted to ask about Justice League? Why did they, at the beginning, it says it's shot in 4:3 because this was Snyder's original vision? Why? Like it's shot in like an Instagram
I
square.
forgot what it was like.
That was the way it was going to be in movie theaters,
square.
though, like a square like that.
I don't think so.
I feel like they made that up, and because it wasn't fully completed, and some of the scenes that were shot and cut were brought back, they weren't fully polished, and like maybe it couldn't be stretched to the way that it was in the final iteration of the first movie. So they made some bullshit excuse saying, "Oh, well, this was the way that they wanted it to be 4:3," but it really is like an editing issue.
Could be an
Conspiracy
area.
theory, right?
I think that
She waiting on tell you that?
Yeah.
I think that they did that on purpose, just for the fact that couldn't release it in theaters. Honestly,
Yeah, but like when you release anything on Netflix, it takes up my entire TV screen.
yeah,
Why does Justice League take up half?
to get you mad like you are now.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. It just doesn't make any sense.
Just one way. They have to fuck up.
It makes it look a little weird.
Yeah. Warner Brothers is like, hey, how can we ruin this? Let's make it 4:3.
Think about it. You watch everything else, it takes up your whole screen. But now you watch this one thing, it don't. It just looks weird. You know what I mean? It's still good.
And
but
when you watch stuff on HBO Go, it takes up your
your whole screen,
Yeah.
right? It's just very odd.
I thought it was
They
me 'cause
have
when
to fuck up, though. I'm
No,
sorry.
you go.
Remember when they accidentally played the link of Justice League on the Tom and Jerry movie?
Oh yeah.
Wait, what happened?
You didn't hear this?
They uploaded Justice League by accident in place of Tom and Jerry, and when you played Tom and Jerry, Justice League started. So this was like a week before it was supposed to come out.
They have to just...
They have to
They
fuck up
have
a
to
little
fuck
bit.
up something.
They did that. They did that to Game of Thrones a couple of times. Didn't they do that once? They released
so.
one episode
Ahead of
like
time or
ahead of
something.
time,
Yeah.
and people were watching like, what the
People
fuck is
pirated
this?
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Insane.
Oh man.
Talk about an epic failure at the end. Game of Thrones, HBO. HBO
right.
always fucks shit up at the end.
So they
They can't stick
Yeah.
landings.
And Warner Brothers, so they fuck up everything.
Yeah.
They do. All right.
Can't
Well,
trust certain people.
this is fun. Thank you guys for coming on.
Yo, dude,
you
it's
guys
a
are the
great
fucking
time.
best.
Bro, thank you.
Yeah,
See you on
check
the
out
golf links tomorrow.
check out Two Do Men. They're pretty good. I was on their show. Should be coming out this week, right?
Yeah.
Then let's upload at the same time. Fucking
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get it up by Monday, hopefully.
We should have just wore the same thing and just carried on.
Have, sleepy, hungover, just
God.
Yeah, what people don't know is that their studio is right next door. It just came over here. But yeah, plug your stuff in.
Go ahead, Cap. Ham it up.
Oh boy! All right. As you know, as he said, that we are the Two Do Men. You could check us out on our YouTube page at Two Do Men. Our Instagram account is at Two Do Men _podcast. Everywhere else is at Two Do Men. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Apple Radio, all that. Anywhere you can find your major podcast. and soon to be on 990WBOB.com. So, yes.
Yeah, congratulations on that. It was pretty dope.
Thank you,
bro.
Thank you.
It's pretty dope.
Thank you.
They're moving up
Yeah, you know,
to the moon, baby.
it's modest.
To the
you know,
moon.
a little, one step at a time.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know, that's the goal.
hey, it's a start
somewhere.
You start somewhere. That's it.
Hey, somebody said what you're saying means something, so tiny bit of validation goes a long way.
It does. Yeah, it does. It's good to have people support, and then you get good feedback, and it makes you want to go. I tell him all the time. It's like hard work, consistency is key.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
I actually got a text while we were recording. We got our 100th subscriber.
Did we?
On our YouTube page.
Congratulations!
And we only need 900 more to go to make money.
Yeah, we knew that. We got the girl with the 100,
Oh
balloons.
my God.
And then we're gonna make a boomerang, and then we got the champagne, and then a congratulations sign.
Three months late. I had set the goal for the new year of 100.
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah.
Almost 4 months late, but we made it.
Yeah,
We made it. Better late
Congratulations.
than never.
Hey, only up from here, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nah. All right. Good to go?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 21 of the Last Slice podcast. You can find our content on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and we're on Facebook, Twitter at The Last Slice with 2 E's. And you can hit us up on Instagram at The Last Slice podcast. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoy the show, and we'll see you next episode.